Hello, everyone. This is Lee from High Performance Coaching. I hope you're having finding that the challenge is valuable to you and you're getting through the homework okay. So remembering yesterday was day 5 and you really need to jump on that calendar for me and book in your 15-minute chat with me by phone so we can discuss the program with you. And it also gives you an opportunity to ask any questions for me with me, and I can give you some feedback and support you this week with the business. I suppose the most important thing I want to do is when people go on my programs, they're not left by themselves. We have lots of support as well. So let's look at day 6. I'll just start this up. Okay, so day 6, we're starting now. We've gone through the purpose, the vision, having a good understanding of our avatar. We've gone through, looked at our business model and how we can add value. So now we need to understand what are the hidden secrets that marketers don't want you to know. So remembering strategic marketing is not tactical marketing. Strategic marketing is about positioning yourself in a place so that when you do your tactical marketing, the process is much more effective. You really understand how you can articulate yourself differently from your competitors, which obviously will create the results for you without wasting any money investing in tactical marketing as well. I do very, very little tactical marketing. When I first started my business 17 years ago, I did a lot, and I just found that a lot of it didn't really work for my business. And that was probably because I didn't have the strategic marketing experience either. So now being a business owner over the last 17 years, I kind of know my street smarts now. I kind of understand, what to expect when I am outsourcing and when I do my own tactical marketing myself. Of course, as my business grows and I get more and more busy and I still want to support my clients to the level that I can, then I will outsource some of the activities to other contractors. But you've got to understand that that's only because I've got the income coming in that I can actually put, say, 10% aside to actually do the tactical marketing as well. But it's still my responsibility to ensure that I manage that process well and that I have my street smarts and I'm very informed of what, I suppose, outcomes I'm looking for when I do actually outsource and making sure it streamlines into my business in an effective way. So this is where you need to really sit down and look at, what are you really focusing on, okay? So we know that 80% of our activities that we focus on only give us 20% results, and 20% of our activities give us 80% of results. Now, this is where you've got to be really honest with yourself. So if you're struggling financially at the moment in your business and it's stressing you out, then it doesn't make sense to be behind the scenes, keep on developing and not getting out there and getting people to know who you are. Simply as that, because the most important priority in your business at the moment would obviously be around getting clients and creating financial return so that you can stay in your business. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't focus on your development stage behind the scenes. Of course, you do that, but you need to make sure you balance and do both. So you have to look at 20% of your activities is going to give you 80% of your results. So the only way you're going to know that is by tracking and measuring what you're doing and seeing what kind of results that you're after. I know I've worked with lots and lots of business owners. I was very fortunate that I ran the program, the NICE program, as a trainer and consultant, and I worked with a lot of startup business owners. And the biggest fear that most business owners has is around sales and marketing. We just get afraid, pick those phones up and things like that because we kind of feel that we don't want to be intrusive. We don't like rejection. We don't like when people say no to us. And and all of this information as well. But if you've got a really good service and a really good product, and you know that it can cure the pain points of your customers and it can resolve the issue, then you really need to get it out there, because you're actually doing a service. You're doing a favor. You're helping that person to overcome their pain points because you have the solution. So this is where you need to look at, where are you in your business? Are you in your business where you're getting a lot of leads coming in already and you're not converting very well? Or are you in the business, in the area where no one knows who the heck you are? So no one's calling you, no one's engaging with you. Then, of course, then you need to be getting out there and either online or offline building your profile so people start to know who you are. It's not always the person who has the highest skill set that is always successful. Sometimes it's just about people, a person with marketing and sales experience. They're able to let people know who they are. So therefore, it's such a crucial element to have in your business to understand the marketing. So understand the 80-20 rule. That also applies to your clients as well. 20% of your clients, are very productive as well, but sometimes 80% of the clients can be, I'm not productive. So it's you sitting down looking at what the 20-80 rule is and how it works best for your business. Now, this is where it's important to understand, to step into the shoes of your prospect. You've already gone through the exercise earlier, in I think around about day 2, that you start looking at your avatar and you started understanding a bit about their pain points. So you need to understand they only have 2 thoughts in their head. One thought is, they want to get rid of a problem. There's something that's happening that they need to fix the problem and they haven't got the solution yet. So they're wanting the solution. So understanding that's what's happening, you have to be able to understand their pain points and provide the solution. Now, sometimes people say, well, my service doesn't, my clients don't have any pain points, but they all do. For example, just say, for example, I'm doing jewelry or something else and I'm high end, maybe my customers, my target market, they want to be unique. They need to be unique because maybe that they want to feel as though they're special. So the pain point for them is not being seen as, I suppose, a status issue, that they like to be seen as someone who, has that status, that can afford high-end jewelry, that's appreciated by their partner. So all of these things are their pain points. So it's really, our customers all have pain points. And you need to look at, well, why do they want to buy your product or service? And that's something that is extremely crucial for you to understand. You need to understand that the prospects, how they think, and that we all know as well that most people make their decisions based on emotion, and they also make their decisions based on a pain point so that they can get rid of that pain. So just try and always ask yourself. And sometimes, as you've been in business longer and longer and longer, you're going to start to find these questions a lot easier because you're working with more people as well. So for your business to be viable, we should go back. For your business to be viable, it has to address a pain point. Simple as that. If your business doesn't address a pain point, then people may not invest in it. They're not motivated by pain. So you need to have a viable business that resolves a issue in with the client. So once you start understanding your prospects, then you need to understand also the buyer's journey. So what happens with the buyer's journey? Only about 1 to 3% of people will actually purchase from you the very first time they see you. And that's because your timing is perfect and also they're in extreme pain. For example, if there was a cyclone that actually damaged my house and there was water linking from the roof onto my carpet, I have a high I have a high feeling of pain and emotion when that happens, because I can see what's going to happen is it's going to destroy my house with the floorings and things like that as well. So therefore, I'm not really interested in price. I want a supplier, a carpet person, or a carpet extractor, moisture extractor, to be there straight away. So my highest priority is to get the flooring protected, so it's not damaged any further. So price isn't an issue there. So naturally, I will just grab the first person who's available. But most people, they have to like you, know you, and trust you before they will purchase from you. And this is where it can become quite frustrating, because if we're sort of at a level where our income is really low, then we can get kind of desperate as we need the financials straight away, and we get attached to the outcome. But the idea is you understand the buyer's journey. You understand as being business savvy, you do understand that you need to nurture people before they will actually become a client of yours. Now, the higher end your product is, the more nurturing is required, and the more times they see you is required as well, because they're investing in a higher amount of finances. So understanding that happens. So there you've got to understand there is, if only 3% of people are immediate buyers, then how do you keep in contact with the other 97% who come across your table? The people who are not customers yet, they're not ready to buy yet. So you've got to put in a program, a nurture program, and capture their information so that when they are ready to purchase, they're not going to your competitors. They remember you. And while you're nurturing, what's happening along the way is you're demonstrating your expertise. You're also demonstrating your relationship building. They're starting to like you. They're starting to trust you. And therefore, later down the track, they're more likely to actually purchase from you than your competitors, because most companies and people do not follow up, and that's the problem. I know myself, I've been a member of gyms for a long time, and often I'd be like everyone else. I buy a gym membership and don't use it, and then all of a sudden, when it comes to renewal time, that's when the gym sends me a text message and asks me to renew. So I have no relationship with that gym. I have no loyalty. I know the only reason why they've contacted me is for another sale. So it's looking at what you need to start looking at is, how are you going to nurture and keep in contact with those people who don't buy from you straight away? So that's something you need to think about. And obviously to do that, you need to capture their email address, and you need to capture maybe their phone number, and start building yourself a list so that you can send them through good information of value that will help them to make better decisions around your industry that you're actually involved in. So think about that. Your prospects don't want to be sold to. So what happens here, lots of times people will do all their research online first. So this is why it's so important to have a very professional presence and to be online a fair bit, because they start to notice you. You start to stand out. It's a lot faster than trying to go offline, having meetings and cups of coffee. So understanding that the prospects don't want to be sold to, they want to do all the research online first. So they're going to be checking you out. They're going to be checking what you're posting. They're going to be checking your website. They're going to, they'll be doing all this checking out on you first online before they pick up the phone. Therefore, you have to make sure that everything that you publish, everything that you do online, it's you communicating your brand. You're communicating who you are. So therefore, you have to start looking at how are you going to stand out from your competitors, and what can you do that can keep on adding value to people as they're searching, maybe through your Facebook or your LinkedIn or your Pinterest or your Twitter or your accounts on your website. Everything has to be really, really professional, because when they also see that it's professional all the way through, then they start to see that you yourself are a professional person, and that they start to trust you. And then when they feel that it's okay, then they will pick up the phone and talk to you. So thinking about that, all the research is done online, okay? And the last person they want to speak to is you. So sometimes you will find that people will be willing to give their email address and their name and not their phone number to your opt-ins and things like that. So you need to gauge things, and you need to make small changes. So if you have a free gift up there or something to offer, or some information to offer your clients, and they're not actually jumping in and looking at it, and you're tracking the stats, then maybe if there's a phone number there, remove that phone number and just see what difference it makes. And then if it's the same, well, maybe then you need to change the educational or a bit of information that you're sending out, such as the headings and things like that. But with strategic marketing, it's all about tracking and measuring and seeing what's working and what's not working. And the only way you can track and measure is by having the software tools that are available to you, so that it becomes easy for you to do that process as well. So therefore, it's so important to invest in your business and have the right tools so that you can actually track and monitor and store the data information that you are required to create that nurture program and to track and measure. Right, so touch points. So we've talked already, it takes between roughly about 5 to 12 touch points before a person will make a decision to buy from you. This is excluding that 3% who your timing is perfect and they're in lots of pain at the moment. Now, 5 to 12 touch points is when you're actively doing a nurturing program. So what's happening here is, when you first start business out, you have to invest time opposed to finances to get your business moving. The reason why you have to do that is because you haven't got the finances to make large investments on ongoing advertising. So the big companies, when they start to do ongoing advertising, they have an advertising campaign. They don't just do one drop or one ad or whatever. They have a whole campaign that they actually map out for the whole year. Lots of times those, if you do advertising only, such as the big companies do, they don't have to spend as much time with the nurturing program and things like that, because what they do is they have a large amount of finances to invest on the marketing and the advertising, such as when you go to Google and you do a search on your industry, always the paid ads will come up on top. And as soon as you stop paying for the ads, then you drop down to below the people who are paying for ads. So therefore, if you're just advertising alone and not nurturing and getting out there and meeting people, it takes about 100 touch points for you before you actually get a sale. And that's why often at night time, if you're watching a TV show or something like that, you'll see the same ad will come on several times during that show, because that people understand that people have to see you more than once before they remember you. So if someone comes to you and with tactical marketing and say to you to put a maybe an advertisement in a magazine or something like that, you've got to understand by doing it once is not going to get the result that what you're after. Okay, so unless it's at 3% we talked about. So therefore, you've got to be prepared to actually look at the advertising as a campaign, and again, it can become quite costly, because when you do advertise in magazines and things like that as well, there's no guarantee of a return of investment. So therefore, you have to be prepared to lose that money and be in the position to lose that money as well. That is why I like to do things more organically. And yes, it does take more of my time, but as my business grows, I'll be outsourcing a lot of activities to other contractors like my VAs and things like that to keep it moving as well. So systems. I cannot stress about having automation and systems in your business. If your business is not systemized and it's not automated, then things are going to fall between the cracks and you may lose potential customers. Not only that, also because you have to double handle and do things and remember things yourself, that there's going to be times where you're really busy with your clients or doing other activities because your business is actually thriving at that moment. And then all your other relationship building and everything else will just drop. And then when your business is not thriving, then it takes a long time to get the momentum up again. So always remember that when you've got systems going, the systems run your business and good people run your systems. That way, when you grow, you can also outsource and just instruct the person, this is the system, this is the process that I want you to follow. So remembering systems is a process. So there's several steps involved with that, and that should all be documented. And that's why franchise businesses sometimes can be more successful than actually a business that's not franchised. The reason being is the person who buys a franchise, they buy a structured, proven system that works. So I want you to start really seriously thinking about what are the systems that you need to put in place into your business that will help you to grow. And as your business starts thriving, that there's also you've got the ability to upgrade to the next level within that system as well. So I hope you enjoyed the session today. Again, there's points that we covered. We covered the importance of having systems, the importance of understanding the buyer's journey, having a nurture programs in place, having 5 to 12 touch points along the way, knowing that your avatar or your customer has pain points and they want a solution, and your business to be viable, it needs to provide the solution and for you to articulate it as well. So there's no activity today, but what I would like you to do is I'd like you to sit down with a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. I'd like you to write down what are some of the systems that you have already in your business, and then what are some systems you would like to implement in your business as well. So I want you to take away some of the insights from today and send that through to me by end of the day, so I can give you some feedback on that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the session today. Remember to book in the calendar for your 15-minute catch-up call with me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, which is part 2 of the hidden secrets of marketers. Take care.